Hi, everyone. It's Donna from redcarpetlearning.com, and we are here with another service story worth celebrating. As you know, I am on a mission to stop talking about what's bad about customer service and start lifting people up, those people who are out there delivering excellent customer service stories. And so, to help me celebrate those people today, or at least one of those people today, is my friend Randy Keirn. And Randy is a speaker, an author. He is the district chief of the Lealman Fire Department in St. Petersburg, Florida. Thank you for your service, Randy, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always so good to see you. And I want to just mention to the audience that I started this Facebook group, Service Stories Worth Celebrating. And you were the very first person, you're a founding member and the very first person other than me to actually post a service story. You made me so happy that day. And it was a wonderful story about your son, who sounds like a customer service superstar. So why don't you share that story with our audience?
Sure. And, it's easy to brag about your son, but I really think what he did is worthy. So the way I found out about it was by accident. My son was in college and he had to do some practice job interviews. And I've had some experience with that. So I went through their routine questions. But when I got to the point, he was kind of struggling as far as what how he has done well in customer service in the past. And I finally said, what would your customers say about you that you've done that's gone above and beyond? And he was really humble about it, but he started sharing that anytime an order got messed up, he made sure it was right. So I'm like, well, what did that take? So he would drive back. I didn't say what it was, Uber Eats. So he delivers Uber Eats part-time. So anytime his order was incorrect, he would make sure it was right. And, my first thought was maybe you should check and make sure the order is right before you leave. And I asked him about that. He says, well, most of the time now they package things, they seal it and everything else. So there is no process he can go through to check it. Most of the time they do the checking, it's out of his hands. But he's the one delivering the product and the service. And so he's kind of the face of that. So then it helped me understand that. But I said, what have you done that they would say that they've really enjoyed? And he was real humble about it. He started saying, they forget to get the person's drink. And I'm like, well, what, you'd go back? He goes, I'd either go back or I'd just go to the store and buy it for them. And he shared multiple stories of where the restaurant made the mistake and he went out of his way to make it right, either go back to the restaurant, but time and time again, it was easier, like a soda. He'd just go buy him a bottle of soda. And I said, well, how do you get repaid for that? And he goes, well, I don't. He goes, I just do it. And my favorite story of all this was a man ordered a pizza and he had his heart set on anchovies. And the pizza place didn't even have anchovies. And so my son dropped off the pizza and the guy knew he didn't have anchovies, but he was upset that he couldn't get them. So my son went all the way across town and went to an Italian restaurant that he searched and found. I think it was actually Carrabba's that had anchovies. And he literally drove across town and got an order of anchovies and brought it back to the gentleman. And again, he paid for it out of his own pocket without expecting anything in return. It just was a real insight, joy of my, knowing that of my son. It was just a joy to hear that time and time again. He was just really trying to make things right for the customer. And I just thought it was worthy of recognition.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even understand, I think, the fact that he was going to their house, then
Yeah.
finding out the order wasn't wrong, and then going to make it right. And
Yeah.
yes, you are a proud dad, but there's a reason why I wanted you to share this story and give a shout out to Nicholas, is your son's name,
Yeah.
right? Because he already has a heart for service, just instinctively. And I know that, as he continues with whether it's Uber Eats or anything, whatever else he does in the future, that's going to pay off for him. He's really, I mean, he's just making the day of so many people.
And I had, he's been doing it for quite a while. I had no idea that he went above and beyond. And knowing him as my son, I really get it now. His drive is he really doesn't want to disappoint people.
Yeah.
So it really speaks to his heart. Like he really doesn't want people to be disappointed, and he will go above and beyond. And I think from a customer service standpoint, you could probably share more than I can on this, but having that ingrained value of being so important as a employer, I think I'd be looking for people that possess that value up front. And I think I'm confident he'll continue to do this. It's who he is.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you are so right on, Randy. People are that is the kind of person that you want to look for, is somebody who has empathy, who has a heart, who wants to make people feel important and make it's so much more than just a transaction to him. So kudos to Nicholas. And does he live in well, we'll keep that private, but I'll say, if you're looking for somebody like Nicholas, you can contact me and I'll put you in touch with Randy.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you so much, Randy. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that story. Again, big kudos to Nicholas. Please tell him we're celebrating him here. And for anyone else who wants to give a shout out to someone who gives excellent customer service, someone who's perhaps given you excellent customer service, this is how you do it. You join our Facebook group, just search for Service Stories Worth Celebrating, and then post it on our group, and you might find yourself talking about that excellent customer service right here on the show. In the meantime, thank you again, Randy. Thanks, everyone, and keep celebrating those service stories worth celebrating.